What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Boston's Banter, where the sports are wicked and the banter is Pissah. I'm your host, Frank the Bank. With me, as always, is Keith LaCava. What's going on, Ronan the Barbarian?
Nothing much. Jason, my broa.
My bro,
How we doing, dog? Good to see you, Frankie.
You too, bro. You too. Episode 27.
We out here.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Stat challenge last week, the Jalen Polk.
Yep, Carrie and Vaughn, congrats.
Yeah.
You know, she got 111. I mean, the Patriots wide receivers, I think, had 72 total receiving yards. Everybody was going high with them. I was surprised.
That was pretty low, though. 72 is low.
No, what I'm saying is that all the predictions were high.
Predictions were way high.
Yeah, dude, one of them were in the 300s. I was like, what?
That's crazy. Hey, congrats to her. We got another stat challenge this week. We have two cards this week, both rated rookies. Christian Gonzalez, one of my favorite players on the team.
Oh, yeah.
One's the base rookie, rated rookie optic, and then one's the purple shock optic, and here's the picture of him here. So we're gonna ask for defensive yards given up this week. So send us your predictions again, YouTube, Facebook.
Man, they're going against the Bills. Those predictions better be high, bro.
It's going to be crazy. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many yards we actually give up as a team this week.
It's going to be interesting for sure.
Appreciate you guys sharing it. We appreciate all the sponsors, too. We've got 3 sponsors now, so we really appreciate that. So why don't we jump right into the Wicked Pissah News? We got a lot to talk about.
Here we go again, Frankie. Wicked Pissah News, and we're going to start off like usual with the Bees. So the Bruins update. They're sitting at 16, 13, and 3 on the season so far, and they are 1 and 2 since our last show, Frankie. So we're going to start with, they lost 8-1 to the Jets last Tuesday, 8-1.
And they left swimming in the entire time.
Yeah.
They gave up 8 goals against.
You know he's got the lowest goalie percentage in the NHL this year?
It's bad.
Guy that sat out, waited for a contract, and this is how he's playing after a contract? Come on. This is what I mean with this stuff. But regardless of that, followed by a 5-1 loss to the Kraken in Seattle last Thursday, and then a 5-1 win over the Canucks in Vancouver this past Saturday. And the next game is at the Flames tonight at 9 p.m.
Yeah, Calgary. Yeah,
so they got to step it up a little bit. And then we're going to move over to the Celtics, Frankie, sitting at 21-5, second in the Eastern Conference, still behind the Cavs, unfortunately. You know, it is what it is there. But let's break down what they did. So the Celtics are 2-0 since our last episode. We beat the Pistons 123-99 in Boston last Thursday, followed by a 112-98 win in Washington over the Wizards this past Sunday. I mean, we expected to beat those two teams, obviously.
Terrible, yeah.
You know what I mean? So the next game is versus the Bulls in Boston Thursday at 7:30 p.m. And Frankie, quick interesting stat with the C's right now. So the Celtics have 3 players that are within the top 10 of three-pointers made this season.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I'm going to break it down. Peyton Pritchard's number 2 with 101 made on the season. He's been killing it, looking like 6th man of the year. That's what I'm saying, coming off the bench and everything.
Crazy.
Derek White's number 5. He has 92 total on the year. And then Jason Tatum is number 7 with 90, man. They're throwing them threes up, man. They're lighting it up.
They are. They really are.
Yes, sir. But actually, speaking of making threes, Frankie, you got an interesting statistic.
We got a couple different stats that happened this week. So we got the clip of one of them here. The Hornets and Bulls. Show the clip real quick.
Let's show that clip.
Let it rain! Rain dance! Raindrops!
They combined for a 75 misses from the three-point range. It's an NBA record. 75 threes were taken and missed.
I'm pretty sure Philip Seymour Hoffman would have shot better than them.
75 missed threes. That's insane. I mean, they made a few here and there, but how do you miss 75 combined? That's crazy. But on another note, the other night, Dallas Mavericks versus the Golden State. It was an unbelievable game. In regulation, too. 143 to 133, right?
Wow.
48 threes were made combined. That's an NBA record.
Yeah.
So that's the polar opposite there. That was crazy. Luka Doncic had 45 points, 11 rebounds on 13 dimes.
Yep.
A triple-double. So that was insane. 48 threes were hit. That was
I mean, look at it, too. It's the Warriors and the Mavericks. I mean, you got the former Splash brother there with the Mavs now. Man, they were all lighting
He had like 29
That's
points.
What I'm saying,
Clay
bro.
went crazy. It was a crazy game. That was a fun game to watch.
That's insane, though. Yes, sir.
And then some G League news. Bronny. We saw Bronny. So he set his career high with like 16 points. The very next game, 30 points.
30 points, man.
Yeah, I had a guy at Poker talking to me like, he's the next Anthony Edwards. I'm like, there's no way he's the next Anthony Edwards. First of all, secondly, I'm happy that he did good in the G League.
Right. Okay, I was going to say.
But it's the G League, all right? So
and mind you, too, 30 points, that's good for him right now. I mean, he's starting off a little slow. You know, I think he only has like 2 points on the season for the Lakers, not the G League affiliate.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, we ain't comparing him to Anthony Edwards now.
He was literally arguing with me about I'm like, stop it.
Dude, that's not even worth the argument, dude. Oh, my God.
But I am happy that 30 points, that's good. Doesn't matter what league you're in.
Let him keep progressing, dude. He's got to develop, right? And he's on the developmental side of the league right now, so let him do his thing.
What do you got for NFL?
Well, before we get into NFL, Frankie, we actually have some college news. And our former NFL head coach, Bill Belichick. Now, nobody saw this coming, man, but let's break it down. Bill Belichick signed a 5-year deal worth $50 million with UNC, the Tar Heels, baby. Dude, first off, I'm going to say this. Everybody, even his former players, were blindsided by this dude. Tom Brady was blown away, he said. Teddy Bruschi was just dumbfounded. And
there was a lot of people like that, yeah.
Dude, Edelman said it was the most surprising thing he experienced in his life seeing that.
I mean, shoot, he just wants to coach, I guess.
Well, the way I look at it, Frankie, I mean, that's cool, man, you know, because I guess he has some family history with UNC. You know, his dad was an assistant coach over there, and I guess Bill said that his first words as a kid were, beat Duke.
That's funny.
You know what I mean?
That's
but
funny.
Bill is 14 wins shy of breaking
record,
Don Shula's all-time coaching wins record. I mean, look at it this way, man.
He said he wanted to beat that record.
Well, that's what I'm saying, bro, but he just signed a 5-year deal with UNC. That'll bring him to 77 years old. How much longer is he going to coach after that?
That's wild.
You know what I mean, bro? I mean, let's be real here. He could potentially go back to the NFL after that. I mean, he'd have to be on a good team to get 14 wins in a season. But, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, going to the college, that caught everybody by surprise, but I also looked into it. I guess he wasn't really trusting the NFL. He didn't think he'd really get a pro job, you know. I mean, I guess he had his eyes set on the Jets, I'm hearing, too. So I'm kind of glad he didn't go there.
Yeah, I hope not.
I guess he was.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. But whatever the reason, Chapel Hill, get ready for Chapel Bill.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it.
Yes, sir. So Travis Hunter of the Colorado Buffaloes, man, he won the Heisman. So the Colorado wide receiver and cornerback finished the season with 1,152 yards, 15 total touchdowns, and he recorded 4 INTs. You know, he plays on both sides of the ball, bro.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So he joins Charles Woodson as the only full-time defensive player to win the award. And I'm going to be honest with you, Frankie, like, much props to him, all the credit due and everything, but I really thought it was going to go to Ashton Jeanty at Boise State.
Well, he had a lot more rushing yards than anybody, but these are the stats that I saw, and this is why I think he won it. So Travis Hunter on offense, 14 touchdowns, second in the country, okay? 5th in catches, 92.
Okay.
6th in yards, 1,152. As a defensive back, a 91.2% coverage rate. First among all corners, or tied for first among all corners in the Power 4 conferences.
Yeah.
Right? And the craziest stat that I saw, so he played 669 defensive snaps. He played 687 offensive snaps for a total of 1,356 snaps this year. That was 434 more than any other player in FBS.
Okay, so
he played 434 more snaps than anybody else.
Right. Yeah, obviously, he had to be on the field full time, offense and defense.
Coverage rate number one.
No,
tied for number one.
That's awesome, dude.
All those stats. I mean, how can you not give it? It's like Shohei Ohtani.
No.
It's like a cheat code.
And again, but what I was looking at
pitching
with Ashton Jeanty, bro, I mean, 2,497 rush yards and 30 total touchdowns, but mind you, 0 fumbles.
Oh yeah, the kid was an animal. Any other year, there's not a guy like this playing both sides of the ball. He wins. He had like 200 more rushing yards than anybody else.
I know.
But if you look at how many more snaps this kid, Travis Hunter,
put in that perspective,
you know
I can agree with that.
And he played it at an all-pro level on both sides, an all-star level on both sides.
That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy.
But now the question is, I mean, going into the NFL draft, which obviously us as Patriots fans, we'd like to have. I mean, do you want him as a wide receiver or a corner? Because I'll be honest with you, I don't think he's going to be playing both sides of the ball in the NFL.
They won't let him. I mean, it'll be crazy to do that because it's like you're more apt to get hurt. Yeah, how can you not give it to him with 434 more snaps than any other player?
Right.
You know what I mean? Any other player.
And he maintained a 4.0 GPA, I saw.
The kid's amazing. Good for him.
Yep. So with that good news, unfortunately, Frankie, we do got some rough news. And former NFL wide receiver Randy Moss announced that he has been battling a cancer found between his pancreas and liver, bro. So we saw on, ESPN Sunday NFL Countdown, he was one of the guys on that show. He actually had to step away, and nobody knew why. He just said he was battling something. Obviously, he didn't want to say it on the air or anything like that. But then we come to find out that he had this cancer, and he underwent surgery last week in North Carolina, and he returned home this past Friday, bro. Wrote on Twitter, or X, should I say, your boy is a cancer survivor. He mossed cancer, bro. Not even cancer can stop him one-on-one, bro.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So glad to hear that. Still well wishes and prayers to Randy Moss, man. Get better soon, man. We want to see you back on TV doing that. We got Moss segment, brother.
That's an awesome segment, too. I love
yes, sir. And then we move over to some chump punk stuff in the NFL, Frankie.
You wouldn't say that to his face, though.
I still might. I mean, if he punches me, I'm going to get some money.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So Devondre Campbell, I'm going to say former NFL linebacker Devondre Campbell, because he ain't getting a job, bro. If you were watching that Thursday night game between the 49ers and Rams, actually, I'm just going to show you the clip real quick.
But this is him walking off the field, helmet in hand. Kyle Shanahan was asked about it after the game. Here's what he had to say. Take a listen.
So what a punk. He just walks off the field. Mind you, man, there's a lot of 49ers players that are going through stuff this season.
Oh, of course.
But before I get into that, let's listen to what his head coach had to say.
Yeah, he said he didn't want to play today.
During the game or before?
No, that was in the third quarter.
Has that ever happened to you where a player said they didn't want to play in a game?
No.
Yeah, so Kyle Shanahan wasn't happy, and he had every right to be pissed off at Devondre Campbell. But like I was just talking to you, bro, there's some players on this team that are going through the loss of children, torn ligaments, stuff like that, and they're getting back on the field and playing. Mind you, Trent Williams, prayers to him and his family. Him and his wife just had a
stillborn.
Yeah, and he's getting ready to come back. Travarius Ward lost his 1-year-old daughter. He's playing.
That's
George
crazy.
Kittle, like Emmanuel Acho was saying on ESPN, man, he has ligaments being held by his string.
Yeah, yep.
And then you got a bruised ego, and I agree with that, man. That dude really didn't want to go in because, for granted, he did start 12 or 13 games for the 49ers, but at the end of the day, you were there because Dre Greenlaw was hurt.
Yeah.
They needed some depth. Now he's back. You think you're just going to still stay on the field, but then he gets hurt again along with linebacker D. Winters. They need you to go in a 4-point game, and you walk off the field?
They needed to win that game, too. That's what's crazy. Now they have it's less than 1% chance to make the playoffs.
It's honestly disgusting, bro. But real quick, I just want to show the clip of what George Kittle and Travarius Mooney Ward had to say about him, too.
And I've never been around anybody that's ever done that. And I hope I'm never around anybody that does that again.
So for him to do that, that's some selfish stuff to me. It's probably gonna get cut soon, so it is what it is with that.
They're just in disarray, dude. I'm telling you right now, bro. 49ers, man, and I'm not blaming it all on Kyle Shanahan. He's just dealing with a lot of prima donna, little diva, superstars that want the money, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I thought they'd be way better this year.
And I get it, man. It's the competitive nature of these guys. They want to be on the field, but that's not how you handle that, bro.
No, never.
I'm not in the NFL, nor will I ever be in the NFL.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that want that position.
That's what
There's
I'm
a lot
saying.
of guys out there
Exactly.
hustling, willing to give it all up, and like this guy, I don't want to go in because you didn't stop me last week because someone's better than you. Like, stop.
I doubt he's gonna watch the show. You're a punk, Devondre Campbell.
That's crazy. That's like.
So I'll be honest, Frankie. I thought they were going to cut him. They didn't cut him. They suspended him for the rest of the season, which actually kind of is a punishment towards him because now he can't sign with any other team, which, like I said, no other team is going to sign him after that.
No, that was crazy.
But then also he may have to forfeit his $3.3 million signing bonus, bro.
I saw
so let him sit and dwell and think about how much he effed up. But at the end of the day, man,
that was so bad.
I'm glad I'm not Devondre Campbell.
Talk about taking something for granted.
So, like I said, man, find a new career, Campbell, you chump. So, Frankie, this past week we had a bunch of NFL injuries, and we're just going to run it down for you guys because there was a lot to break down. So, Trevin Diggs, cornerback for the Cowboys, he suffered a torn ACL. He's out for the season. Max Crosby, defensive end for the Raiders, he had an ankle injury and he had ankle surgery. He's out for the season. Nick Chubb, man, 2 years back-to-back. It ain't the knee injury this time, but he suffered a broken foot this past Sunday. He's out for the season. David Montgomery of the Lions, some people like to call him Knuckles, brother. He got a torn MCL. He's out for the season.
Gone.
Now let's get into the quarterbacks. Pat Mahomes, who had an ankle injury this past Sunday, he's considered week to week, and they actually might hold him out the last few games. Get ready for Carson Wentz. And then Geno Smith for the Seahawks. He had a knee injury, and he's also week to week, so we're waiting to see what's going on with these guys. So
that was crazy, yeah. The only other thing for NFL was the Jonathan Taylor touchdown that he dropped the ball.
Man, come on, dude.
How
How are
was
these
crazy.
guys still doing that?
There's people that it could have ruined their fantasy football season too. There was one guy that had a parlay with him as a touchdown, and it was crazy. So I
don't want to talk about fantasy football. We'll get into that
that's
later.
Terrible. Me neither. That's all we got for Wicked Pissah News. Let's jump into the Foxborough Pokers.
Back with it, Frankie. The Patriots had the bye week last week, but this week, they played the Cardinals, and it was the same outcome we've seen all year, man. They lost. So let me break it down. The Patriots lost to the Cardinals this past week, 30-17, bringing their record to 3-11. And there wasn't a lot for the highlights, but we'll show you what we got. Week 15, Patriots at the Cardinals. End of the first quarter, Cardinals in the red zone, and Kyler Murray is going to do the end-around handoff to wide receiver Greg Dortch, and he's getting to the goal line, but then he's going to lose the ball. And offensive lineman Jonah Williams is there to get it for the touchdown. Anybody have Jonah Williams on their fantasy teams? I doubt it. But yeah, good look there. They knocked the ball right at the goal line. It was almost a touchback, but the guy had the awareness to get on it and get the touchdown. Start of the fourth quarter, Cardinals in the red zone, and Kyler Murray is going to hand it off to running back James Conner for the touchdown. He's playing against that guy in fantasy. I wasn't happy to see that. Finally, some good Patriots highlights, and Drake May is going to be dropping back. He's rolling out. Is he going to run? I think he's going to run it. Nope, he's going to shovel past that to wide receiver Demario Pop Douglas. That was some good improvising there by the rookie quarterback. But the Cardinals got back in the red zone, and it's another rushing touchdown for James Conner. Of course, first round of the fantasy playoffs, and I go against this guy. Come on, man. 2-minute warning, the fourth quarter. Drake May is going to be dropping back in the red zone. He's rolling out. Another shovel pass, maybe? Nope, this time he's going to run it in for the touchdown. May got some wheels and some good improvising skills, but unfortunately, the Patriots are going to fall to the Cardinals 30-17, bringing our record to 3-11. Very unfortunate, but it is what it is. Frankie, man, yeah, it was rough, man. There weren't a lot of Patriots highlights, and it was all Drake May, too.
That was a bad game. Another one. I thought they played better off of a bye week, and the Cardinals, they haven't been playing good either. I mean, the Cardinals needed to win this game.
Well, regardless of me being a Patriots fan too, I mean, I was going up against James Conner in fantasy. But again, like I said, we'll get into that later. But let's break down the Patriots offense week 15 at the Cardinals, Frankie. Drake May, 19 for 23, 202 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Ramondre Stevenson, another guy that screwed me in fantasy, 13 carries for 69 yards. And then Kendrick Bourne, only 3 catches for 44 yards. Wasn't a lot of wide receiver yards like we were talking about. Yep, so the Patriots defense, week 15 at the Cardinals. And I'm not even going to bring up their stats. Here's a garbage can with DeMarcus Covington's face on it because I'm going to tell you right now, man, I think he needs to be out as DC. The schemes are rough, dude. I don't even know. They allowed almost 200 rushing yards, bro.
It's just, their identity from week to week. It's just crazy. After a bye week, I thought they played way better.
Well, bro, 3 of the last 4 games since that Bears game where they had 9 sacks, the Patriots have had 0 sacks. This week, the same result. It's ridiculous.
Makes no sense.
Yep, but what are you going to do? And then also, while allowing 55 points the last 2 weeks, you ain't going to win games doing that.
Nope.
So let's bring up the Cardinal stats versus Patriots week 15. Kyler Murray, 23 for 30, 224 yards. James Conner, like I was just talking about, 16 carries, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Crazy.
Trey McBride still hasn't caught a receiving touchdown, but he had 9 catches for 87 yards.
Yep.
But let's bring up the notes from the Cardinals week 15. The Patriots had 311 total yards versus the Cardinals, but they allowed 395. Like I said, 163 yards rushing for the Cardinals, bro.
Rushing.
Come on, man. The Patriots allowed them 5.1 yards per carry, like we were talking about, man. Basically, two plays, they're getting a first down.
You can't give up 5 yards a carry. You can't.
The Patriots were 2 for 3 in the red zone, but the Cardinals were 3 for 4 in the red zone. You know, we just got to get in the red zone more. Maybe we could score more points.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was an ugly game. It was real ugly.
All around ugly. But I'm not going to lie, Frankie. This upcoming game is looking like it's going to be way uglier.
It's going to be the ugliest.
So upcoming week 16 at the Bills breakdown. Let's talk about what they did in week 15. So the Bills beat the Lions 48-42, bringing their record to 11-3. That's back-to-back weeks for them. Their defense, though, letting up over 40 points.
That was crazy. That was an unbelievable game.
Yeah,
90 points scored, 90.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Josh Allen, 23 for 34, 362 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he also had 11 rushes for 68 yards and another 2 touchdowns, man.
Yeah.
What's going on with this guy,
Ever
bro?
since he got engaged,
he's been
going crazy.
Yes, sir. James Cook, 14 carries for 105 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then Ty Johnson, the second string running back, bro. 5 receptions, 114 yards.
He went crazy.
Amari Cooper got 0 points.
I know.
What is going on here? And then obviously Mr. Reliable for them, Khalil Shakir, had 6 catches for 39 yards and a touchdown. But real quick, Bills notes from week 15. The Bills had 559 total yards. And we're talking about what the Patriots defense is going to allow this week.
That's crazy.
Bro, that was against the Lions defense.
I know.
The Bills allowed 521 total yards at the Lions, though. You know, they actually held them to 48 yards rushing. I mean, when David Montgomery goes down, you're going to make the hurt. So that's really why they were so low in the rushing yards. The Bills had 8.2 yards per play. We're talking about us letting up over 5. They were posting 8.2.
That was the craziest game I've seen in a long time.
And the Bills, they got to the red zone 7 times, and they converted in 5 trips.
Yeah, we said it on our last show that it was going to be the game of the week and it was going to be a fun game, and to see 90 points scored in a football game is insane.
But this is where the Bills had their troubles. Obviously, the defense let up a lot of points. The Lions were 5 for 5, 100% in the red zone.
Oh yeah.
So you know
their
what I
offense
mean?
has been great all season.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
That game was a shootout.
Yeah, and Frankie, let's just get into that prediction. Obviously, we're both taking the Bills. I'm going to answer for you, dog.
You already know that. That's not even a question.
Well, let's break it down like this, man. I'm taking them by a landslide.
Oh, it's going to be bad.
The Bills have had 1,004 yards of offense the last 2 games.
Might be up to 2,000 after this week.
And mind you, Josh Allen, he's had 10 total touchdowns the last
in
2 games, bro.
Yeah, I think he's got 14 in the last 3, and that's since he's gotten engaged. Something crazy. It's wild.
And then, like I said, the Patriots have allowed 55 total points their last 2 games. So this just looks like a complete landslide for the Patriots defense, bro.
It's gonna be
Chalk
bad.
it up as a loss. Yeah, I'm taking the Bills to win this week.
It's gonna be bad. Yep,
Yes,
me
sir.
Too. That's all we got for the Foxborough Focus. Let's jump into Wicked Smart Fantasy Stats.
Frankie, I don't want to.
I don't want to either, dog.
Can we skip it?
Yeah, let's skip it.
Nah, we can't do that, bro. We got to give the people what they're waiting to hear, bro.
I mean, yours is worse than mine, but mine's bad too. But yours is, I don't think I've ever seen, ever. And I've played a lot of fantasy football. I've never, ever seen anything like this. You got to show the pictures.
Oh, I got
of
the
just
pictures.
how close you two were in the regular season.
Right.
So he had the same record as Mike. And Mike, I'm sure you're watching. So when you have the same record, it comes down to seeding based on how many points you score. They were less than 1 point apart.
0.82 difference.
For the entire season, the 14 games. So Keith was the seed below Mike. I think you were the 5th seed, correct?
Yep.
And Mike was the 4 seed?
Yep.
By 0.82. Now, what happened in your playoff game this
So,
week?
like I said, I didn't really want to bring it up, but we got to, bro.
This is crazy.
So, championship quarterfinals, bro. I lost 166.54 to 166.54.
You didn't lose, though.
No, exactly.
You
but
tied.
I tied, but in retrospect, like you just said, the point difference,
So
the PF,
he did not
bro.
lose his playoff game. He tied his playoff game.
I'm disgusted.
That's That's crazy.
Bro, when I woke up in the middle of the night, I actually had a message from Mike saying we're about to tie, and that was at like 11:05. So I'm like, let me check the score. When I saw the tie, I went straight to the league board.
Yeah.
And then I saw he was above me in points by 0.82.
Yeah, he was the higher seed. I've had like 800 games in fantasy, and I've tied once.
Yeah, this is my first time tying. Of course, it was in the playoffs.
And that's with like, and I'm talking about every team, not just my own. Like just me, 800. I tied once, but in my league, I don't think there's ever been a tie.
Yeah.
And my league's been around like 8 years longer than yours.
Yeah, right.
It's just insane that
Yeah,
you guys
it's baffling.
tied.
I felt weak in the knees, bro. I wanted to throw up. I'm not gonna lie, man. It was not good.
Hopefully,
bro.
there's a stat correction for your sake
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I'm not gonna
it's
even
very
bank
rare
on
for a
that.
stat correction, but that did happen to me one time. I thought I won a playoff game by decimal points. On Monday, I thought I won.
And then
Tuesday went by. I'm still in the semifinals. Wednesday, when the stat corrections came out, I was kicked out
And the
of
other
that
person
spot,
was
and the
put
other
in.
person won. That happened to me once also. So, I mean, it can happen.
But I'm not
especially
banking on
yeah,
it.
no, it's very, very rare. But
Yeah.
that happened to me once too, which is crazy.
So let me break it down. I tied in the playoff matchup, but let me break down my studs and duds for the last time this year because I didn't make the playoffs in Frank's league. So my studs, Jaden Daniels, 27.64. He threw 2 touchdowns to Terry McLaurin, who got me 26.3. Jonnu Smith, 19.8. Rashad White, 14.1. Lad McConkey, man, 16.8, bro. So it was looking like my team was going off, but I'm going to bring up the worst dud I've had all year. Derrick Henry. 6.7 points. He was projected 18 against the Giants defense. I'm disgusted in Derrick Henry. Back-to-back years, he screws over my season, bro. Ramondre Stevenson, 9.5 points. Both my running backs just sucked. And then the Jets defense. I'm thinking, hey, against the Jags and Mac Jones, no. They only put up 6 points. And, of course, Mike started Cincy's defense against Will Levis, the bummiest quarterback in NFL history.
He's terrible.
Yeah, so bad. Frankie,
I
know you were
I had a bye.
You were on a bye
but
week.
Kamara got hurt, of course, so I ended up losing anyway. So I'm probably gonna somehow lose to Mike now.
But yeah, bro,
But
let's
either way.
roll over to your league, Frankie, and what happened over there.
So I ended up losing, so I'm out in my league. But it was talk about the worst bust ever. Cooper Kupp, 0.
Yeah.
0 catches, 0 points, 0 everything 0. Not unbelievable. Thursday night, 0 points. So I mean, I'm just distraught about it because honestly, I had Denver's D in. I took them out and I picked up Baltimore against the Giants. If I leave Denver's D in, I win. Then I'm looking on the waiver wire. I see Atlanta out there, and I know they're playing, it's at the Raiders. And the Raiders are terrible. They have their 3rd, 4th, 5th quarterback. Who the hell knows?
Desmond
right?
Ridder, yep.
So we talked about Ridder. They had like 8 tackles for losses. They went crazy. They had a safety. Antonio Pierce is running plays on the 1-yard line in the shotgun. Like, why are you in the shotgun when you're in your own end zone? The quarterback's getting the ball 5 yards deep in the end zone. What are you doing? Of course, there's a safety. So they're on the waiver wire. I almost pick him up, but I didn't. And then Josh picks him up like 7 minutes before, switches out his defenses. Oh my God, I would have won if I did either of those 2 things. But congrats, Josh. You knocked me out last year too, you bum.
So what are the studs
Hopefully
and
you lose
duds
by
looking
100
like? Like
this
you
week
just
to
said,
Adam.
what do you? So you start with your duds?
I mean, Cooper Kupp, get out of here. Tyreek Hill, 5. Jennings, 5. Isaiah Pacheco, terrible again, 5.7. I thought he'd be better. Jaden Daniels, we talked about. I have him and Terry McLaurin.
Yep,
They both had
combo.
good games. Chase Brown was great for me all year, 26.
But yo, let's get into those week 16 must starts. The starts for the week, Frankie. We only got one more week of this after this week, so let's break them down. So for number 1, start quarterback Baker Mayfield at the Cowboys, Frankie. The Cowboys have the 23rd ranked defense, and mind you, they're also the 26th ranked overall defense. Last week, Baker was 22 for 27. He threw for 288 yards, 4 touchdowns in 1 pick. But mind you, that was against the Chargers' 8th ranked pass defense, bro.
Yeah.
So he was lighting them up. Baker's had 280 plus passing 3 out of the 4 last games, and he's had 8 passing touchdowns the last 3 games. So get him in your lineup if you're still in the fantasy playoffs. I think it'll work out for you.
Yep.
Number 2, start running back Jerome Ford at the Bengals, which if I was still in the playoffs, I would be doing that this week. So Nick Chubb, like we talked about, he's out for the season with a broken foot. Ford had 7 rushes for 84 yards, and he also had a 62-yard touchdown run. He also had 2 catches for 20. And the Bengals have the 23rd ranked rush defense, and the Bengals have the 30th ranked red zone defense. So I think they get in there. They're going to be handing off to Ford. Mind you, they just benched Jameis Winston, so I don't think they're going to be throwing a lot.
Yeah, that stinks for me in your league. I have Njoku. I thought I might.
Hey, I think Dorian will be looking for Njoku.
I'm going to put in Kraft probably if Jameis is
I don't
playing.
blame you there. So speaking of Kraft, though, somebody else on the Packers, number 3, start wide receiver Jaden Reed versus the Saints. I know he's been having a rough last few games, but mind you, the Saints have the 28th ranked pass defense. Reed had 8 total touches versus the Seahawks for 61 total yards, but mind you, Seahawks have the 10th ranked pass defense.
Yeah, yep.
So he was kind of doing his thing against a top tier pass defense. And the Saints secondary has allowed opposing teams' wide receivers to go over 70 yards the last 2 games. I think he gets it going again this week.
Absolutely.
Number 4, start wide receiver Jalen McMillan at the Cowboys,
Damn, you got
bro.
2 of the same guys I got.
Here we go again, brother. Great minds think alike. So McMillan has seen a boost in usage, and we're talking about these surges at the end of the season to boost fantasy stock, and I think this guy's got one too, along with Rico Dowdle.
He's been an animal.
So McMillan has 9 catches for 134 yards and 3 touchdowns the last 2 weeks,
yep.
bro. He's been going off. To go along with 13 targets combined the last 2 weeks.
I'm putting him in. I put him in your league.
It's him and Mike Evans right now putting up those numbers, dude.
I'm starting him in your league.
And then number 5, start tight end Trey McBride at the Panthers. And I'm well aware, if you got Trey McBride in your team still in the playoffs,
Damn, I got Trey McBride. You got 3 of the 5 guys I put on my guys here.
But like I said, if you got Trey McBride in your team, you're obviously starting him regardless. But I'm going to break down why I think he's going to be the tight end start of the week. The Panthers are allowing nearly 30 points a game, 32nd in scoring defense, and they've allowed 44 total touchdowns.
Yeah, they're crazy. They're terrible.
31st overall defense. The Panthers defense has allowed a league high 10 touchdowns to tight ends this year. So I could see McBride getting his first receiving touchdown, maybe 2 this week.
Yep.
Frankie, let's hear that FanDuel picks, brother.
So I got Kyler Murray at Carolina. We were talking about Carolina giving up all these points.
Right.
He looked good against the Patriots.
I like that.
He's 8,000 this week. They give up the second most points to quarterbacks.
Yep.
You know I always stack with either a wideout or a tight end. I got Trey McBride this week, stacking them up, 7,500. Carolina gives up the most fantasy points to tight ends. So the second most to quarterbacks and the most to tight ends. So
there you go.
There it is right there.
That's a good combo right there, brother.
You got, I said Jerome Ford. He's only 6,600. Chubb's out. Cincy, he's going to catch some balls too.
Right.
So I have him in my lineup. I think that's a good start. I think he'd be better if Winston played because I do think Winston will throw it more. But at the end of the day, if they're playing from behind, he's going to catch some balls either way.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
And then we already talked about Jalen McMillan. He's only 5,800. That's real discounted in my opinion. So I stuck him in there with some higher end, more expensive guys. Like I got CeeDee Lamb and stuff like that. But he's only 5,800. He's got
5,800, man. He's been getting used a lot, too.
I'm saying that for the last 2 weeks, he's got 3 touchdowns. We talked about Dallas' defense. We just talked about all the injuries they got. Plus, they're terrible this year.
Right, you just lost Trevin Diggs for the year, dude.
I'm saying, so they lost their best corner. So it's like, at the end of the day, I think that for 5,800, he's probably one of the better guys to throw out
Surprised
there.
that's not boosted, bro.
I know. He's been great the last 2 weeks. So, I have him in there. And then the defense, I got Atlanta at home to the Giants. Atlanta just went crazy. They had like 9 tackles for losses, a safety, an interception. Like they only gave up 9 points,
right,
or 10 points, whatever the heck it was.
Their offense just couldn't get the ball moving.
Oh, it was a crazy game. So yeah, they're only 4,000. So that's that. Here's my team here,
dude. Like you were saying with Kyler Murray, I like that. Jerome Ford, I picked him too, and then the Chuba Hubbard. I think he gets it going again against Arizona. Jalen McMillan and DJ Moore. That's a good combo right there, especially with Jalen McMillan. He's a young rookie receiver, and he's starting to get that boost in usage and everything. They're starting to figure out how to use him.
Yep.
CeeDee Lamb, how can you go wrong there? Trey McBride, like we talked about, I think he's going to get in that end zone finally. I mean, he has a rushing touchdown, but he's a tight end, bro. Let's get him some receiving touchdowns. Flex Adam Thielen been playing better in the Falcons defense against the worst team in the league right now in the Giants.
Absolutely.
I like it, Frankie.
So that's all we got for Wicked Smart Fantasy Stats. Let's jump into the lava round.
Here we are, Frankie, the lava round. Let's go back to those week 15 picks. So we both actually finished with a 14-2 record, but here are the overalls. Yeah, it was a good week for both of us. You took the Lions. I took the Browns over the Chiefs. But my overall record is now 154-70, and yours is 161-63, my brother. So see how it goes going down the line, brother. So, Frankie, let's get into those week 16 picks. You name them, we'll predict them. Let's get it popping.
We got a real good game. Denver at the Chargers.
Yeah, Frankie. In LA, I'm going to be taking the Chargers here.
I'm going Denver. I like Denver. Denver's been real good, so I'm sticking with
Knicks throwing 3 picks last week.
I don't care. They still won.
Nah, I know.
I love it. Texans at Chiefs without Mahomes. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, I mean, we haven't really heard that yet. So as of right now, I'm taking the Texans.
I'm taking Texans too. I don't think Mahomes is going to play, and they look like Duke half the time anyway.
Yep.
So Texans, I think they're going to come in with an upset this week.
I agree.
Steelers at the Ravens. I'm going Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going Ravens too, but honestly, Derrick Henry.
Yeah, that's crazy. But Ravens should win. Steelers are nasty too, though. Giants at Falcons. We're both going Falcons. I'm assuming.
Yeah, man. The Giants are just too trash.
Day.
They don't even know who that quarterback. They had Tim Boyle out there.
They were running out. So many different people. Lions at the Bears. I'm going Lions.
Oh, Lions all day, every day, bro.
Cards at Panthers. I'm definitely going Cards.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cardinals here, too. I mean, I think the Panthers will make it close, but I am going to take the Cardinals here.
Yeah, Cardinals actually looked complete for once this past week against us. So,
yeah, they
I
did.
mean, hopefully they get back on track for their own sake because they were playing good to start the year, and they had like 4 games they were playing terrible. So.
Right. Rams
at Jets. I mean, I got to go Rams. I'm taking a lot of away teams this week.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking the Rams, too. I mean, the Jets almost lost to the Jags last week, and the Rams, I mean, look at the numbers they've been putting up, bro, since Puka and Cooper. Well, minus Cooper last week, but I mean, those guys are both back.
0 points.
Offense been looking good, though, regardless of Cooper doing that, but Puka's been killing it, man.
Puka's been an animal.
Yeah, taking the Rams.
We got the Eagles at Commanders. That's going to be a good game.
And Jaden Daniels, man, and Terry McLaurin, they've been playing lights out, man. They finally got their chemistry starting off slow, obviously, in the beginning of the season, but I'm going to be taking the Eagles here.
I'm taking the Eagles, too. They're just the more complete team, but that could be the game of the week, honestly. That's going to be a great game.
Yes, sir.
Divisional matchup, too. So, Browns at Bengals.
I'm going to be taking the Bengals here.
You sure you don't want to take the Browns again?
Nah. Especially now with Dorian Thompson-Robinson. And I could see Jamar Chase putting up like another 50-point fantasy performance for whoever's still in the fantasy playoffs. Mike.
I got to play them this week. I hope they both twist their ankles first play. And my team's all banged up. I've been in first all year. I better not lose. I'm going to be so mad. Anyways, yeah, Bengals for sure on that one. Titans at Colts. I mean,
yeah, after seeing what Will Levis did last week, bro, and to mind you, like I said, Mike starting Cincy's defense against him. Yeah, I'm going to be taking the Colts. Any team playing the Titans, I'm going against the Titans.
Yeah, I'm taking the Colts too. I mean, it's just the Colts are terrible too, though. Both these teams just feel like they're coached just wrong.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of bad coaching this year.
I'm gonna be honest.
A lot of bad coaching.
You give Drake May the weapons that Will Levis had on the Titans, and we're close to a playoff team.
Oh, we're definitely a playoff team. And the same thing. Even when you look at the Colts, what they have on offense, they got some studs on offense.
Yeah,
and Anthony Richardson's just incomplete guy.
Get my guy May some weapons.
That's what I'm saying right there. Vikings at Seahawks. I'm going Vikings.
Oh, I'm going Vikings too, especially with Geno Smith just getting hurt, bro. Their playoffs hopes are kind of diminished now.
Oh yeah, Pats at Bills. We already talked about. We're both going Bills. The Jaguars at the Raiders.
Wow, this is a toilet bowl game. I'm going to be honest with you, though, bro. I'm going to take the Jags over the Raiders. Mac Jones has looked all right within their system. I mean, I know the Jags just lost Evan Ingram for the year, but at the same time, I don't really trust Desmond Ridder being on the team for 2 days. I mean, he's been there.
What I saw last night, from a coaching standpoint, was just one of the worst things I ever watched. Right. Atlanta's defense hadn't even turned the ball over in 4 games.
Yep.
And they could not, they got 9, I think it was 8, 9, 10 tackles for losses.
Yeah.
Right? They're literally in the pistol, they're in the shotgun, they're in their own end zone running this play. Like, Antonio Pierce, what are you doing?
I know the Raiders
You're on the 1 yard line.
Dude.
1 yard line.
Simple.
Like, you don't run the ball like that.
No.
The guy's 6 yards deep getting a handoff, and he has no momentum or nothing.
Dude. Yeah. That's what I mean. I hate those halfback draws on the goal line, dude, because obviously the D is stuffing the line, bro. Like, come on.
It was hard to watch that game. It was crazy. And then I will say the Raiders defense played pretty good. The Falcons couldn't figure it out on offense.
No, they couldn't. Darnell Mooney had 0 points.
They had a chance to lose that game.
Yeah.
They had 2 Hail Mary chances. It was crazy. But I got to take the Jags.
Yeah,
just after what I watched after the Raiders, I mean, the Raiders could beat the Jags. Terrible.
Toilet bowl, but I'm taking the Jags.
I got it too. 49ers at Miami. This is another one of those kind of games.
Yeah, I mean, kind of rough on both ends of the ball there, but I'm going to be taking the Dolphins, especially in Miami.
Yeah, see, this is a tough game for me. I think 49ers going to run all over these guys, but just the way the 49ers are playing is so up and down. I'm going to take the 49ers, though. I'm still going to go 49ers. Yep. So we got 2 differences. The Bucks at Cowboys. I'm going the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I'm going
Cowboys
the Bucks.
Are just
all day, bro.
And the Saints at Packers. The Packers are going to win by 3,000. So
yeah, Packers are winning that. Even though the Saints almost did beat the Commanders, they just had to get that 2-point conversion.
Yeah, that's it. We got 2 differences this week. So good luck to you, my friend.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, another great episode. I mean, it's been great. 27. We're on episode 27. Keith, what's going on, man? There's some clouds and stuff rolling in right now.
Yeah,
It's
thunder.
crazy.
What is going on, bro?
I don't know, man.
Simba.
Simba? My name's Frank, and he's Keith.
There ain't no Simba here.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Simba, you must take your place in the circle of life.
I mean, I'd rather take my place here at Boston's Banter for now.
I agree.
No, Simba. That is forever.
Okay, yeah, definitely forever. But again, we're not Simba. I'm Keith. He's Frank. So yeah, no Simba here still.
So, I know what this is, Keith. This is the Pissah movie, the prequel to The Lion King.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
coming out
dude.
this week. It's
I
going to be
figured
a
it
good
would.
one.
You must remember who you are.
Oh, I know who we are. I'm Frank the Bank, and this is Keith LaCava.
That's right, baby. That's right. Frankie, let's get out of here.
From Beantown to your town, stay wicked, Pissah.
From Foxborough to your... Man, that's the wrong movie. But like I said, from Foxborough to your borough, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week.